Hi, you gorgeous people out there. How's everything going? So today this video is going to be about my journey in stretching my ears. It might be a little bit long, I'm not going to lie, so it's going to be short because it's a lot of information. Whatever I miss, you guys can actually, and hopefully you guys ask me. Hold on, give me a second. Let me try to get more lighting in here. That didn't help a lot. It did a little. You guys can see me more. Hi. Okay, anyways. So, yeah. This video is going to be, like, about me, my ear stretching journey, as I said prior. My boyfriend moved this in. Yeah, so, no, I'm not trying to show you guys. I'm trying to fix my shirt. Right now, I'm at a 6 gauge. Oops, I'm filming on my laptop, so this is kind of weird. Like, I mean, I do now naturally, I normally do, but I'm trying to get a new webcam because this is like irking the hell out of me. It's so hard to film stuff on. I started out my little package I got in the mail. I'll put the link below of the person I got it from. I actually bought it from Amazon, and I actually found how much it cost. I'm thinking off the top of my head right now that it was normally when you're getting a, like, I'm gonna say a stretching kit, because people are gonna eat me alive if I say gauging kit. A gauge is the size of, this. Like, this is a 6 gauge. That's what it is. So if I say I'm gauging my ears, people are gonna eat me alive. But if I mess up and say it, don't freaking come for me, because, like, and I'm learning just like everybody else. Nobody was born knowing about stretching their ears. You learn along with time. But anyways, I got it on Amazon. It was about, honestly, I think I want to say it was between $12 to $15 is what I think I spent. I don't know if I'm telling myself that, but I will actually give you guys actual price. I know it was not 20 to 25 because I saw so much people selling it 20 to 25 and you didn't even get like the 14 gauge and up. Like, they started you at like probably a 10 gauge, and like, so I was like, no, I want to start out small and like work my way up, even though I kind of, well, that's what I'm getting into right now. So I have them all in my hand. Let me find them for you. Let me set them out so I can show you guys where I am so far. 10, 8. Now, when I got the package, I don't want to like be all silent and shit. When I got the package, it came with sizes 14 gauge. So let me tell you them in order, because a lot of people don't know, like, in order. And there, you can actually order in between sizes if you don't want to jump from, like, I had to jump from like 8 gauge to a freaking 6. That shit hurted, and I don't. Well, I thought I ripped my ear. I waited for about 2 months before I actually did it, but at the end of the day, no matter how long you wait, sometimes some people's ears still not prepared to stretch because you don't have enough elasticity and all that extra stuff. So some people decide to use a taping method, and that's when you like add layers of tape gradually around the gauge until it's basically your ears is basically stretches to the size of the next upstretch, so you don't have to like force anything through and all those things. So I was like, you know what, bitch, you've done worse to yourself. You can take some pain from a 6 gauge. I ain't gonna lie, that shit hurt like a bitch. It did, and I do think I did tear my ear. I don't have a blowout at all because I checked. There's no skin forced through the back nor the front. It's perfectly fine. It's just that it's like a slight rip in it, kind of. When I waited for a couple of days for the swelling to kind of go down, and then I went in and I took it out, and it had like a little bit of pus and like a little bit of blood. If it was something where it was like a lot of blood and it was just pussing every day, then hell yeah, I would downsize back to the 8 gauge. But it's not like that at all. There's even tales of some people, because there's gonna be the freaking stretching crew, the stretching fucking assembly that's gonna come and be like, well, you probably have a blowout, it just didn't show now, blah blah. Everybody knows their body best, so please don't try to tell me that I do have a blowout. I don't have one. I literally checked. I literally researched. I really don't. like I said, I think I sort of like it's, and the tear is not a humongous like, oh my god, it's gonna heal fucked up. No, I sea salt soak all the time. I lube it up all the time. I take the earrings. I mean, I take the gauge out to make sure there's no bleeding, no pussing. It's no bleeding, no pussing. When I first initially, after I first put them in and took them out, it had a little bit of pus in there, but it wasn't green, yellow. It was like white pus, like you know the healing type pus. It was white, a white bit of pus, and it was a little bit of bleeding, like if you freaking scraped your hand, kind of bleeding. It wasn't like dripping blood and all those things because I did wait a good amount of time. So it probably was just the reaction from me having to force it through. On top of that, when I was younger, I did get my ear pierced with a piercing gun, so that makes the situation even worse because your ear already has trauma to it. It probably already has scar tissue developed, so it was just, I mean, it's gonna be kind of harder for someone. I think personally, this is my opinion, not harder because you can still do it, but it's gonna be more of a trouble. Like it's gonna be a little bit more traumatic for you to stretch your ears when you got it pierced with the piercing gun, like it, because of the fact that you do have probably, most likely 99% of the time, you will have scar tissue developed in your ear because you basically had blunt force trauma applied to your ear. Because the piercing guns are what they used to normally, like from when I was researching pierce, like the ears of cows and all that other crazy shit, like for animals. And they decided, hey, let's use it on people, whatever the fuck they decided to do. So, I think I got mine done in the mall. Like I noticed a lot of parents do it nowadays are not really educated on it. So I'm happy that I know because when I have a child, I will make sure she goes to a piercer and not a freaking place where they use the guns. I'm not feeling it. Yeah. And that shit hurts. I swear, I feel like it hurts more than if I actually got it pierced, honestly. But yeah, so the package came with sizes. So let me do this. I'm gonna lay them out for you guys so I can like go ahead and be like, okay, this size, this size, this size. So you guys can see like one by one the sizes of them. I'm not gonna take them out of the package or anything, but so I got 14 gauge. There's just the little tapers and the little. And I'll talk about this one since I started at this one, so I'll do it like that. I'll talk about them up to the size that I'm at and then just show you guys the other ones. So the 14 gauges are little as hell. Like you probably sitting here like, girl, seriously, you really stretch your ears to that? Usually from what I've researched, people are pierced at an 18 gauge sometimes, but most likely it's a 16 gauge. So 14 gauge is pretty good to start out at. And like I meant to say earlier, a lot of piercing kits don't even start you at 14 gauge. A lot of them start you at 10, at least from what I saw. And I was like, no, I want to start at 14. And I was so lucky to find this person, so I'm gonna actually give you guys the information like I told you before and everything. It does come with its set of O-rings. Came with like 2 on each, so 4 O-rings came with these 2 little tapers here. And then this is actually the 14 gauge size. You see how little it is? You can't even see the little hole. Yeah, so I put that one in for about, and people are going to say I was wrong, but whatever. Everybody heals differently, and I heal pretty quickly when it comes to piercings and stuff like that, and like causing trauma in my body. I heal pretty good with stuff like that. My body handles foreign objects pretty well. As long as I take care of it. Sometimes I don't even have to take care of it, and it just heals it well. So, but I started out with this. I waited for 2 weeks, probably 3 at the most, and then when I was able to turn the earring and didn't feel any pain, take it out, the back end, I went up to a 12 gauge. So this video is gonna be so long, guys. This is the 12 gauge tapers. They're a little bit thicker than the 14 gauge. Ooh, don't fall off. Oh, stupid idea, Cassie. Stupid idea. And maybe I should have these pre-laid out. And this is the 12 gauge itself, the flesh tunnel. Mental picture, you can see that these are a little bit bigger than the 14 gauge. Same process, kept them in for about 2 or 3 weeks and then twitched them out. And I use tea tree oil as my lube, and like when I massage my ear and stuff, I use tea tree oil. A lot of people said olive oil is really, really good, but yeah, I just use tea tree oil because I use tea tree oil in my hair, on my skin, and stuff like that. So I was like, whatever, I just use tea tree oil. Yeah, I think it's just you just need a type of natural oil, I think, and you'll be fine. And then now these are the 10 gauges. I kept these in for a month. Like I said, they all come with O-rings, and all of the gauges are flesh tunnels. It's the 10 gauge out there. I was so happy when I got this one. I was so happy when I got up to this size because I was like, yeah, I can see through it a little bit, but you can't see nothing. It doesn't even, like, I don't know. I thought 10 gauge would have been so much bigger, but whatever. They all come with their own set of O-rings. That's what's right there. And then until recently, I was at 8 gauge. Now, like I said, I waited for a month with the 10 gauge before I switched over to the 8 gauge. The 8 gauge, because I saw how big of a jump it was going to be from an 8 gauge, and I'll show you the comparison, from an 8 gauge to a 6 gauge, I was like, okay, Cassandra, you need to give yourself some time. You don't want to like cross trauma to your ear, obviously. So I was like, you know what, I'll give myself a little bit of time. So I kept these in for about 6 weeks, probably 2 months, but I want to say probably like 6 weeks. And this is the gauge that goes with it. Yeah, you can't even see through it that much. It's not that humongous, all that stuff. So until about last week, I've had these in. They're probably about 6 or 7 weeks, not exactly 2 months. The recommended is 8. I mean, not 8, 3. The recommended is 3 months, and then you switch it. But I'm not impatient, but I know my body, so it's like, you know what? I've had them long enough. Everything was, so I just took it out and put these ones in. My face looks so dry. Whatever. I look pale like a freaking ghost. Anyways, so these are what I just showed you, the 8 gauges. This is the 6 gauge. Do you see that? That's a good amount of a jump to me. You know what the thing is? So, 8 gauges and then 6. And you know what the thing is? Before I jumped, I was like, I'm gonna leave it over so you guys can. Before I jumped, I was like, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. I'm mad my hand keeps coming in front of my face. I was like, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Blah blah blah. It hurts like a bitch. And I'll show you from the side. You can see how thick it is compared. So this is the 6 gauge and these are the 8s. Now, this is the 8 gauge itself, the flesh tunnel that you put in. You follow the 8 gauge tapers with. So let me take out my 6 gauge and show you so you can really see like the big jump I took. And when I say jump, I don't mean jumping sizes. I mean like, sorry, that was so gross. It doesn't smell anything. So this is the 6 gauge. Ooh. I gotta go in the bathroom. There's some skin. She's gonna rip my hair. I don't want to like develop on the outside. Anyways, this is the 6 gauge, and this is the 8. Now, people cannot see how much of a jump that is, but you guys are fucking crazy. So it hurted when you pushing the taper in because you're going from that little size to this size right here. Put it closer. You see that? That's a good jump. I mean, people who aren't switching their ears won't realize the pain you feel when you're jumping, but it hurts. A lot of people will be like, "That's not even a big jump." Like, Jesus, I was like looking at it because when I first looked at it, I was like, "Oh, this will be a piece of cake." It hurts. I gotta clean my ears after this. Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm at a 6 gauge. Finally, And I had to take my O-rings from my because you know each of them come with two, like I told you guys. So I had to take my O-rings from my which gauge is that? For my 4 gauge, no, yeah, for my 4 gauge, one of my 4 gauge tapers because the O-ring she gave me did not fit on my 6 gauge ones. Like I had the hardest freaking time getting it on there, so I just swapped them. I just took two off of it, off of the tapers, because tapers don't even need O-rings. So, but I guess that's just giving you extra O-rings, but the tapers don't need it because you're not supposed to wear tapers as jewelry. You should not, let me say that again, wear tapers as jewelry, because what will happen is they will place uneven weight on your ear, and your ear will not stretch an even size. It'll look how nice. So don't do it. Unless, you know, not even, just don't do it. Do not wear tapers as jewelry. If you have like the crescents and stuff like that, I guess that's fine because it's evenly placing weight on your ear, you know. But the tapers is just gonna, once you put it straight through, it's gonna just drop down like that. So my recommended is if you're gonna leave it in just to stretch your ear, you should probably leave it in for no longer than about 20. I would say 30 minutes to an hour at the most. An hour at the most. Not saying leave it in for an hour, but if your ear is really being a bitch, then you can leave it in for about up to an hour. It'll be fine. And then take it out and put the tape, follow the gauges with it. And that's another thing. It's so much easier. Like when you get to the 6 gauge, you will have to follow your taper with the gauge. I never had to do it with the other sizes, but if you don't, it's gonna be a bitch trying to put it in without having the gauge in the taper in your ear still. So follow it through. It'll help you. If you need somebody to help you, then just get somebody to help you to make sure their hands are really clean. Either that or make sure they put on gloves. So yeah. Alright, and then after the 6 gauge, which I'm at right now, and I'm loving it because you can tell the difference from this one and the 8 gauge when I had it in. And I've been meaning to do videos, but I've just been so like lazy, honestly. Then the next one is these 4 gauge ones that came in the package as well. This is the taper, the one that I took the, you see how big that is compared to what I just showed you? I don't want to keep taking them out and everything, but, oops. You see those? Don't look at that one. She gave me a wrong side. Compared to that, it's humongous. So when I'm going up to the 4 gauge, I'm going to actually start taping my ear. Because I see that my ear is being really freaking resistant. It's telling me, bitch, no, I'm not going to do this shit. So, it's like cursing me out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do it like that, tape it up. Do tape until I get to this size because it's going to be a bitch to put this size in. And this is the gauge for it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is noticeably bigger than mine back there. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's noticeably bigger. So, it's going to be a bitch trying to put it in. It really is going to be a bitch trying to put it in. Can you guys see that? It's noticeably bigger. It's going to be kind of a bitch trying to put it in. I mean, like I said, to people who don't stretch their ears or who are not familiar with stretching your ears, you're going to be looking like it's not even that big. But trust me, when you have to put it in your ear, it's big. And you do feel the pressure of it and how big it is. Then these are the 2 gauge ones I also got. Like I said, she gives you about 2 O-rings with the tapers, and then she gives you one already on the gauge. Then I have the zeros. Same concept, O-rings on the tapers, O-rings on the gauges. And then, oh my lord, double zeros. These big old things. Now, am I going to continue stretching? Well, those are all the stuff I got in the package. As well as a sizing sheet. A sizing sheet, which I can't find right now. The lighting here is much better. Hey. But like I said, I will link you guys to her Amazon shop. And you guys can order from her. She's really cheap. And you get it really fast. I got it really quickly. Am I going to stop at a double zero? I wanted to go up to a 7/8. In all honesty. My mind has been set on going up to 7/8. So I might, but then I'm waiting for my hair to kind of grow in longer. As you can see, I am all natural. And my hair is curly, but it's like, I don't know. It's really tight in the front and the sides, but in the back and going up, it's really loose and like, I don't know. It's really loose. Can't see my hair. It's really loose, especially up here. It's curly, but it's loose, so I don't know. But yeah, I will. I'm actually thinking about going up to a 7/8. I probably will stop at a 00 just to give my hair time to catch up, and then keep on stretching your head. The taping method. I mean, stretching your ears is not for someone who's lazy, and I'm semi-lazy when it comes to like my piercings because I'm used to them just healing on their own. But I'm gonna try to like do the taping method and gradually progress. I'm gonna try to be patient, or that's not a word, but whatever. Try to be more patient, I should say, and wait for 3 months before I actually change these ones out. I'm gonna actually try to wait 3-4 months. So by the time my birthday comes, I should be going up to a 4 gauge, and yeah. So by the end of next year, if I do like 4 months, it should probably I should be up to a 0 by then, because you know if I do the 2 and then the 4, then the 2, then the 0, then by the end of next year I'll be a 0G. So that's kind of my projection of what might happen. I'm gonna actually clean my ear. I didn't get a blowout, but at least from what I researched and stuff like that for my ear, I do clean it every day, and I do try to see so it's okay. And I was told that if sometimes you rip your ear, the ripped skin will like you can pull the ripped skin off. So that's what I'm gonna do, so it doesn't like heal weird. But it's definitely if I research blowout correctly, it's not a blowout. Cause a blowout, I know they said like the skin from your ear is forced out through the back, and that hasn't happened yet. So I think my ear is just healing, and because I actually ripped it a little. It's not a big rip. It's like a little small little baby rip. It's like it's healing and all the little dead skin and shit. So I'm just gonna do that. Yeah. They're beautiful once you start. Like you do get addicted. And you're like, listen, I'm not gonna. But I don't think I would ever be one of those people with like a 2 inch in ears, half an inch. Like definitely not. I'm not trying to go that far in, and I'm trying to get somewhere in life. No offense to anybody else who's 2 inches. A lot of them are like piercers, hairstylists, or tattoo artists, and I'm trying to go to be a forensic psychologist. So I don't want them too big, and if they are of size, I want my hair to be long enough that it can cover over it, especially having thick curly hair. It would definitely hide it, like trust me, because curly thick hair can be tamed sometimes, so it will definitely cover them. So that's kind of what I'm hoping will happen, and if not, then I'll follow the ventures of the others and to become a piercer or a tattoo artist. I really want to pierce more than tattoo, but or do hair. I would be a piercer and do hair if shit doesn't pan out, but I really want to stretch my ears. I've never been one to let social restrictions hold me back, so or social like abnormalities viewed by others hold me back from doing what I want to do. If I want to do it, I do it. If you look at me funny, that's fine. If you keep staring, you're going to say, what the fuck are you looking at? You've never seen somebody with a blowout before. And if you haven't, oh well, don't look at me like that. You can ask a question instead of staring at me like I'm a sideshow. And, I'm very outspoken. Like I don't take kindly to like people judging me and not knowing me. So I'm a very outspoken person. So like I don't think I would have a problem with stretching my ears. This is not something you can hide from your parents. For anybody who's saying they're going to do it and hide it, you cannot hide this from your parents at all. I don't think you can. I really don't. Unless your parent is really numbing the skull, you know what I mean? Like they nonsense like that, or they're gonna pay attention to you like that. And yeah, you can hide it, but you can't really hide it when your parents pay attention to you. It's kind of impossible. Unless you have really really long hair, then yeah, you probably can. Just don't forget. Because if you forget and put your hair up and your mama's here and slap the shit out your ass, I want you. But yeah, so I'm going to put the links down below, not on the screen, because I'm not fancy with all that shit yet, in the description bar. So you guys can go check out her shop. I think it's her, don't know. And yeah, the shipping is pretty quick. It's pretty cheap to get, your starter kit. And it's perfect because you're supposed to start using steel, like metal, basically metal tapers and tunnels. It causes less bacteria infection and all that stuff, and you do not want to have bacteria infection in your hair. Like, come on. So you know, it's better to start with steel. You're not supposed to wear wood and acrylic and stuff like that when you first start because it is very prone. You can be prone to bacterial infection and stuff like that. And you want to leave your ears healthy and allow them to heal properly and things like that. So the steel is the best one for you. Anyways, this video is already long as hell, and I'm so sorry about that. If you guys do have any questions that I can answer, I will answer them for you. And yeah, so keep up with me, and I will see you lovely, lovely people in my next video. Bye.